Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Born to Succeed podcast, the number one podcast on the planet for helping you succeed on both a personal and professional level. Where every podcast we bring you motivation, inspiration, faith, hope, and love, and we remind you that you are born to succeed. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Born to Succeed podcast, the number one podcast on the planet for helping you succeed on both the personal and professional level. And I'm your gracious host, Michael Merritt. Today, we have an amazing guest. Miss Krista Fee is an international speaker, author, industry trainer. She's a staff mental health provider for a 501c nonprofit organization, BATTLE2BE. They serve military vets, police, firefighters, and frontline professionals. She has over 20 years experience, over 56 certifications in trauma-focused healing modalities. She's retired from investigations and medical work and volunteers with Montgomery County Search and Rescue. After surviving and overcoming her own traumatic history, she's dedicated her life to understanding how trauma impacts every aspect of our experience and how best to unravel and reprogram the damage. And you can reach out to her at battle2, capitalized B as in boy, E as in Edward.org. Miss Krista, so good to have you on the show. Welcome. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful today.
Awesome. Well, that was a little introduction from all the information that I had, but tell us a little bit about yourself, what your passion is, what your game is here. I know that your passion and purpose and happiness is around trauma specialists and helping others, but tell us more about yourself, ma'am, and how you're doing in the world today. What's going on with you?
I consider myself to be one of the luckiest, but lucky by taking a ton of action, people that I know. I literally have a fairy tale life. I have an amazing husband. I have 2 daughters of my own that are grown and who are now giving us grandchildren. And I have 2 daughters that are my husband's that are now grown. Everybody's happy and healthy. It's just, I couldn't ask for more in my personal life. We have a beautiful little home in Texas. We have the freedom and the friends around us to explore this country. We have a Harley Davidson motorcycle and a 2020 Jeep Gladiator. And we just literally embrace life for all it's worth every single day.
Wow. And everybody should do that out there. That's awesome. Yeah. And now you're involved with some different organizations. And is that what you do all the time, full time?
It is. My full-time work, I have basically a partnership between my for-profit organization, and I had to create a nonprofit because there was so much need. I had originally thought I was just going to take 50% of the clients that I took in my profit company as just donations. I just wanted to serve. So I wanted to make it easy for people who are struggling with trauma, but also struggling financially, to have access to healthcare that was non-judgmental, easy to get a hold of, wouldn't report to their employers, and just really understood where they were coming from. So I committed to doing the 50% and then discovered 2 years in that I just had so many people that needed that side of things, so many people that needed help, that I needed to actually go more than 50% of my time and energy had to be serving those people. And I needed to find a way to network and get other providers that could also do what I'm doing, just to reach the people that we needed to reach here. So it kind of took on a life of its own, and now I run a for-profit and the nonprofit at the same time.
Okay. And the BATTLE2BE is the nonprofit organization, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so tell us, I know it's about first responders and providers, medical providers and military vets, but what all do you guys do?
We do mental health awareness. So we actually go to a ton of different events with our really cool vehicles that I told you about. And we have a pop-up and we discuss the way people talk about mental health, the way people perceive mental health. We talk about suicide in helping professions and bring awareness. But we also do boots on the ground, actual PTSD healing work. We have group courses, peer support, a podcast, and we do a 12-week one-on-one program with individuals to help them get started with the foundations of coping and resiliency skills. And then I do corporate trainings also at law enforcement, fire stations. I'm now running a committee with our Montgomery County Search and Rescue, where we're also going to be doing trauma intervention after traumatic experiences faced during search and rescue as well. So I do a ton of different education and healing activities.
Nice. And it definitely sounds like you got a passion for it, for sure.
It is everything. Yes, absolutely. And I definitely would tell people, find your passion, because once you have it, you have no choice but to do what you have to do. And it brings you so much joy and so much happiness. Yeah.
One of my friends one time, he said, you can retire from a job, but you can't retire from a calling or a purpose. And you just seem driven the rest of your life. You may slow down a little bit as you get older, but when you really have a passion and a purpose for life, you just do it. You can't retire from that. So that's awesome. Now, I met you at the mastermind dinner that Mr. Kevin Castillo had, which was a great event at getting some folks in the room. And if you've not been to one of these dinners before, guys, and you're thinking about going, I would highly suggest it. It was called the Dinner of Impactors. And it was a room full of amazing people, just like this young lady I'm talking to. And for us to be able to get in the room together and network and figure out whose story is what and see how we can help each other is an amazing thing. So I just want to send a shout out to Mr. Kevin Castillo, because I would not be talking to you right now if it wasn't for his amazing dinner that we went to. So blessed to have met you there. It's an awesome thing. Now, and I also got a bracelet from you, which I still am wearing today, as a matter of fact. It's a black bracelet, and it's got some green on it. And on one side, it says, "No one left behind." And on the other side, it says, "No one fights alone." And it's got these beautiful little ribbons as well on there. So each day I do have my little bracelet on from you. I wear two. I wear that one, and then I've got a red one on that says "Unwavering Integrity." And somebody gave me that years ago, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wear this till it falls off. I need that unwavering integrity every day. So that was awesome to meet you at the event there. And I'm sure you met some amazing folks as well, right?
I did. And I've actually, because of his event, I've actually really researched a lot of the local, I like the small networking organizations where it's not necessarily your general BMIs and the things like that we all have been doing for years and we all kind of know about. But I like the small local people that just decide to put something together and create an opportunity for small businesses to network, because there's something so much more genuine and so much more natural about people bringing people together in that way. Yeah, I agree totally. There were some amazing folks in the room, and you got a great dinner as well, man. That was a fabulous dinner. It was. Yeah, it's really funny you brought up the tagline, "No one fights alone," and it's taken me forever in the business to realize that is for us too as business people. Like that's what we want to say to the people that out there that we're talking to as clients who need healing and clients who want to create these support circles for themselves, and that's so important for them. But we forget as business owners that we need that too. We absolutely do. Yes, we do. I'm so glad you brought that up. You know, it actually just happened to me a week ago. I was getting frustrated about something, and one of my buddies reached out to me, and I said, "Bro, I'm just kind of struggling with something right now. I'm frustrated." And he sent me back exactly what you said. "Bro, you don't have to go at it alone. Just give me a shout. Let's get on the phone. What's up? Let's just talk for a second. Maybe we can talk it through." And I was like, man, amazing. And that is true, because we're just like everybody else, and we get frustrated with different things. And especially when we're trying to serve others,
we're in the process of thinking about others. And a lot of times we don't think about ourselves, and we're trying to do too many things at a time, and we're trying to save money by not hiring somebody to do something. And we end up working ourselves and getting frustrated sometimes. So that's a great point that you brought up, that we don't have to go at it alone. No matter what it is, you can reach out to somebody for a little hand, a good word or something along those lines, and you just know that you're not there by yourself. But yeah, no one fights alone is a great motto there. And of course, no one left behind. I love that as well.
Yeah, we put the no one left behind on there because what we were finding, especially our military personnel, they go to the VA once or twice, and if they don't get the answer that they need right away, they're so frustrated with the system that they don't seek further help, and then they just get forgotten. And you know, all of these service providers, they go through their job with that motto. They literally will die to make sure that no one gets left behind. They will sacrifice themselves to no end to make sure no one gets left behind. But when they get home, that's not true anymore.
Right.
They isolate themselves, and they lose contact and connection with the people that are so important to them, and they lose the ability to ask for help or to feel worthy of help. So I wanted to really remind them that they live that motto, they breathe that motto, and that still is with them, and those people are still with them. And if they reach out, I have never seen a veterans group make fun of another vet for asking for help. I've never seen them give each other a hard time for looking for answers or solutions for their PTSD.
Absolutely right.
But they think in their minds that asking for help is weakness, but really asking for help is a show of strength.
Absolutely.
And they respect each other for that show of strength. So we have to teach the ones that haven't experienced that. We have to show them a little bit of what their peers actually believe and what their peers actually think, and what's actually going to happen is they'll be lifted up and supported.
Yeah.
And they're never alone.
Yeah, because it's pride, and it's a toughness, and not only a mental toughness but a physical toughness. You know, I've been a medic for 27 years. I was a firefighter for 10, and there's not, you know, it's more talked about now, but and we say healthcare providers and PTSD because, you know, our PTSD is a little different from our veterans. But it's PTSD. I mean, you see somebody with their head cut off, their body cut in half, and arms cut off, they're abused or neglected. The stuff you see, you can never forget. They're shot, they're stabbed, whatever it is. And, you know, back in the day when I was growing up as a firefighter, you were just told to pull up your pants. Be a big boy. You're just going to see a lot of rough stuff in your career, so just get used to it. And I think the military, they take that same mentality of, I'm going to see a lot of bad stuff, just the way it is, and I just got to get used to it. Don't talk about it. Don't be a crybaby about it, and just suck it up, buttercup. And what that does is it internalizes everything. And anytime we internalize anything, it becomes a toxin. It becomes a poison that we can't get out of us. And it really rips us apart. And we don't even know it from the inside out. It just eats us out, whether it's relationships with our loved ones, wives, spouses, kids, people around us, friends. We tend to draw into ourselves, like you just said, and then we tend to start doing other things like abusing alcohol and drugs, because then that just becomes comfort. I know myself because I've been there. I've seen millions of firefighters and paramedics that have done it and then also committed suicide. That's the one thing I always tell people, is that I'm always trying to keep you from getting to that level. You know, whether you are a vet or you're a firefighter or a medic or something, you know, I want you to reach out whenever you need that help. So if you're listening right now and you're a vet, you're a firefighter, you're a medic, you're a nurse, you're a doctor, I don't care what profession you're in. If you have trauma, you have PTSD, you need to reach out to a trauma specialist or just someone to ask for a helping hand. I mean, because you don't want to leave yourself in this situation, because it's just going to eat you up inside and out and do no good for you or your relationships or your future. And I've certainly seen that a lot in our business. And I actually talk about it in my medical classes all the time, you know, ways to not have that happen to you, or, you know, ways that it has affected our providers. And I will have people come up every single time after class and go, everything you said, it's true. I'm like, I know it is. I've been in this business a long time. I know. And so definitely it's great that you're out there helping folks and influencing them and getting them the help that they need in those times. No doubt about it. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And you said you go around and you speak at different events and things like that. So where all do you go around?
I actually am not adverse to going anywhere. Right now, I travel mostly in the United States, but I have done Costa Rica and Puerto Rico.
Wow.
Geez, for next year, we have Australia and Canada on the books. So
wow.
That's passionate
amazing
about getting this message out.
That's
and
amazing.
It's the same everywhere. Even if you don't have, like, we always consider military only being in the United States. All of those helping professions are everywhere, and they struggle with the same types of problems everywhere. Violence, death lives everywhere. Yes. So it's super interesting too, as you were talking about the medical community and how you get the opportunity to talk about it. It's really interesting too, the way it's finally changing from post-traumatic stress disorder, from PTSD. We're starting to actually be able to call it post-traumatic stress and trauma spectrum injuries. It's starting to be recognized as a brain and body or nervous system injury instead of a mental disorder, which takes so much of the stigma away that it's going to make it so much easier for us to spread the message that it is okay to ask for help, that it is okay to say that you're not okay.
Right. Yeah, and I think with each generation that's going to get better when people get that help and realize they can ask for that help, and then when they pass that to the younger generation, because the younger generation has to grow up with that as well, so that they can pass that on to the next generation. Again, if you grew up in my world, it was suck it up, buttercup, be quiet, and all that good stuff, and that didn't help any of us, So it's the ones that say, yeah, it's okay to reach out for help. Please, reach out to me, reach out to somebody. Let me give you a number. Let me give you somebody's contact information to get to. So, do you have any books out right now?
I am in the process of writing my own biography, basically. It's my survivor story. I was a victim of child sexual abuse and a whole lot of other things. So we always say our victim cards, and I always like to say my victim card is really full, because when I actually have to talk about it, which we obviously don't have time to get into all that here, it takes like an hour to even go through all the different things that have happened. I'm a cancer survivor. I was in an auto accident that gave me a traumatic brain injury. I was raped. I had 2 different instances of domestic violence. One of my husbands was being inappropriate with one of my children, and I had to actually grab my kids in 2 suitcases and leave the state to be safe. So I have all these stories, and I had to do all this healing. So I have a book coming out that goes through that process. And then I have done chapters in a couple of other books recently. So there's a childhood sexual abuse compilation for a nonprofit organization called International Heal Right, Heal WRITE now. So that will be coming out in the next couple months. And then I just did a chapter in one of our Unleash You Now folks, Sean, his project, which I don't know if he's fully announced that yet. So I don't think I can really say anything about that yet.
Okay. All right. Well, good. That's awesome. Well, good for you getting in those books. That's good. And as far as social media out there, what do you have? I mean, I know you have a Facebook page. Do you have Instagrams or YouTube pages, or where can people find different stuff from you, social media wise?
I am on Instagram at Sahara Rising and Battle2BE, and I am on Facebook at Coach Krista Fee. I am on Facebook at Phoenix Rising, which is my for-profit organization, and at Battle2BE, which is my non-profit organization. So you can find me at all those places. And if you look on Amazon and you want to see my old book, I actually have a hilariously cute fiction story that I published about, 6 years ago?
Okay.
Called Awakening.
Okay.
And that one is actually still available. So
nice. Well, who are you going to be publishing your book through?
I think they're all self-published, I believe. on
Okay.
Amazon and Kindle.
Okay. Very good. And guys, I'm going to put all this information in the notes for you. I'm going to put her links and all that good stuff in there. Battle2BE again is battle, and then the number 2, and then capital BE. So Battle2BE. But I'm going to put all Krista Fee's information in there in the notes for you guys, so you can get a hold of her there. So, future plans, man. What's the future plans for where you're going? I mean, I follow you on Facebook. You got an amazing Jeep, and I see you out there with that guy. I'm like jealous there. Little peanut butter and jelly over here. I love me a Jeep, and I'm a Harley guy as well. So I've had motorcycles my whole life. I started riding when I was 4. So I'm definitely right there with you. Haven't had the Jeep yet, but it is in the future plans. But what's your future plans? Where are you going next?
Oh my goodness. My focus right now is on what we're calling the Ferryman Project. And
Okay.
the Ferryman Project is our honor, respect, and remember program. And what we're doing is we're creating one-of-a-kind plaques for families of the fallen, and we're choosing to honor families that aren't receiving the normal kind of accolades that usually come from a service death, because they've committed suicide or because they died of another cause. Like, we just served one who had died of 9/11 cancer, but he died 20 years after the fact. So even though it was diagnosed as being related to the 9/11 incident and his service there, it wasn't considered an in the line of duty death. So we take on those families that aren't feeling honored by their professions, and we create these plaques, and then we do what we were calling a ride to remember. And we have volunteers all across the United States. So if you have a Jeep or a Harley Davidson, or you have a fancy car, or you just want to get involved and you drive a Volkswagen, it's totally okay. We have volunteers, especially peers, take the plaque from state to state, all the way across the country, from Conroe, Texas, where we create it, to a final pier in the state where the family resides, and we then produce those to the family, present those to the family in a way that is private and allows for them to have some quiet time with that. But during the course of the travel, the ride to remember, it's an opportunity for peers to remember and for peers to really share stories and moments. And sometimes people take photographs, sometimes people go to a place that means something to them. You know, somebody will stop at the Grand Canyon and take some photos and spend some time with the plaque. So it's an honorary way of taking the final journey home.
Yeah, that is amazing. And did you come up with that?
My husband actually came up with that.
Wow, that's an amazing.
Like, how do we make this special? I was like, I want to do this program, but a plaque is just a plaque. It needs to be meaningful, and I wanted it to be meaningful to their peers.
Yeah.
As well as to the families. And he was like, well, you know, we do these honor runs all the time. Jeepers and bike clubs do them all the time, where we just all get together and we drive in honor of someone. So I was like, it made sense to organize these honor rides across the country for each of these people. So that's how it all got started. So now he actually gets called the Ferryman. That's his nickname.
Okay, and that's what I was going to say. It's called the Ferryman Project. And where'd you guys come up with that name? Did he come up with that, or?
He did it because we're really invested in challenge coins, and we like to do we create challenge coins as a memorial for the people that we do the plaques for. Right. So we wanted to incorporate the challenge coins too. And he goes, well, what about coins for the ferryman? What about this story? This story just resonates so important. You know, the ferryman guides the soul across the river Styx on its final journey to the afterworld, on its final journey to wherever that may be. And some people say Valhalla and some people say heaven, but either way, it's that last safe journey home. So our ferrymen, our volunteers, get a limited edition coin when they participate. So we send coins for the ferryman along with the journey, and then they sign a document that says, I was a ferryman on this mission. And that document goes with the plaque to the family. So the family can see and touch the names of those who were involved in that mission.
Wow, that is the coolest. Well, I definitely will have to get that out there on my page. I've got a lot of Jeepers that I know and Harley guys and gals, but just really anybody that want to be involved with that. I'm sure that I would have folks that want to do that. That is amazing. Good for you. Well, you definitely have a passion and a purpose. And like you said, you're at the very beginning, you were happy in life. And it sounds like that God has big plans for you and some bigger plans in the future. As we always know, sometimes it's way bigger than we even can imagine. And every time we turn the corner, we're like, I can't even believe it's this big. So I wish you the best of luck. I know that, really and truly, your best is yet to come. There's amazing things ahead of you. But congratulations for the amazing things that you've already done. What a great job for being a servant. I believe truly, I say it all the time, we're here put on earth for a purpose, with a purpose, and to be a servant is why we're here. We're not really truly here to be served. So congratulations to you for overcoming all the trauma that is in your life. I look forward to your book coming out. And again, I really truly look forward to working with you in the future, maybe doing some events or some stages together or something like that. As soon as I do some events, I will definitely bring you in and put you on the stage myself. So I definitely appreciate you being on today. And the last thing I always ask from the guest is one nugget of wisdom or one thing that you would just absolutely say, I've got to leave this with the listeners today. What is that one thing that you want our listeners to remember you by?
You are absolutely worthy of happiness, and you can have happiness.
There you go. Yeah. No matter what, right? Because you've been through a lot, and here you are on the other side, smiling from ear to ear, right?
Yes. No matter what it is, you can come back from it. You might not have the life you had before, right, but life is new for all of us every single day.
And we have a choice each and every day to decide how we want to take that, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, it's so great to have you on, Miss Krista. As I wrap it up, guys, I always say the same. Remember, you can have everything you want in life if you just help enough others get what they want and need. And remember the golden rule. If you will treat others as you want to be treated, then the world will be a much better place. Miss Krista, we look forward to seeing you in the future. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much for being on with us today. And we look forward to all of our guests out there checking us out. Remember, Merit Coaching Group, Born to Succeed podcast. We're here for you. And until next time, we love you, baby. Bye-bye. We want to thank everyone so much for taking the time to listen to the Born to Succeed podcast with Michael and Elisa Merritt. We know that you have a very busy schedule, and we appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend time with us. You can find us at Merit Coaching Group on YouTube, Facebook. You can email us at meritcoachinggroup@gmail.com. We want to remind you that you can have everything you want in life if you just help enough others get what they want and need. Remember to follow the golden rule. You can have everything you want. Yeah, but you got to do what? Treat others as you want to be treated. So until next time, have a very blessed day. From Michael and Elisa Merritt.